Hey everybody, how you guys doing? First thing I want to say, because it's really weighing heavy on me, is I want to send out my prayers and my condolences for all the families in the Kerr County and surrounding areas of Texas. I'm so sorry for all of your losses. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a child or if it's an adult. It's a family member lost through a tragic incident, and it's horrible. And I want to send out my prayers and my condolences to all of the families of those who have lost someone. I send out my prayers to those who were lost, that they'll find their a quick path into heaven. And yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible what happened. And I hear that it's gotten over 100 deaths now, and it's just, I mean, what can I say except that I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope that eventually, somewhere in the future, you'll be able to find peace. You'll never forget. I know you'll never forget about that, because it's just, it's just bad. But I want to send out my prayers and my condolences to all those in Texas who have suffered a loss of a family member, and my prayers are with you, and my condolences are with you, and my prayers are with those who were lost, that they find a quick pathway into the great spirit world, because it really is horrible. Second, I want to say that I hope that those of you who didn't have this type of thing happen to you in your life, that you had a wonderful holiday weekend, and I just hope that you had a safe 4th of July, a wonderful 4th of July, and just a wonderful, relaxing weekend after that. And but I mean, how can you actually think about that knowing what's going on in Texas? But yeah, my prayers and blessings, and sending out positive vibes to all of you out there in the world, and hope that you had a wonderful weekend. And like I said, my prayers and condolences to those who lost someone in Texas. And it's just, I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry for that. Now, on to my wonderful couple days before the 4th of July and today. I don't know if any of you have ever been through all of this, had this happen to you in your life, and dealt with any of this, but it's just like, you got disabled for whatever reason it may be, a work injury, something happened when you weren't at work, you got diagnosed with something, whatever it might be, whatever you put you on the disability, that path of disability, and you're really trying to progress in life, move forward in life, and do things that will help you get back to work, or get back to living a good life, a comfortable life. I was making a lot of money before I got injured on my job in 2020, and now it's not like that, and it's rough. It's really rough right now. So, but I figured, okay, I'm going to do everything that I have to do, get signed up with the Department of Rehabilitation, get signed up with America's Job Center, get signed up with all this stuff to find the help that I need and to get moving forward. And it's been one hurdle after another, and it's been another hoop to jump through, one after the other. It's like never ending. So I wanted to get a job, but now I want to start a business, I couldn't find a job. I've been applying for jobs and doing all that stuff and not been able to get a job. And I said, you know what, let me just start a business, start doing a business. But I want to go to school to get some education on some stuff, but I also want to start a job, but I need some seed money. I need some startup money, And I found out through the Department of Rehabilitation that not only will they help you go to school, but they'll also help you with some startup money to help you start a business, And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I said, and I looked online, I said, can you do it at the same time? Yeah, you can do it at the same time, and you can do, You can go to school and get some seed money, or some starter money to start a business and get going on what you want to do. They'll help you. They're there to help you. And I'm like, awesome. But there's a lot of hoops to jump through and a lot of hurdles to get over and a lot of walls to break down to get to that point, So I found a school. I was told to find a school that can get me the education that I need in the areas of study that I want to study. Doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's in the United States. Find a school that'll get that for you and we'll take care of it. And I was like, awesome. So I called UC Davis. I called Chapman College. I called a lot of the colleges here in California. And none of them offer everything that I wanted to learn in one degree. You have to start one degree, and then when you finish that one, you start another one, and when you finish that one, you start another one. So over a span of 8 to 12 years, I could learn all this stuff, but it's going to take me 8 to 12 years, and it's really expensive to do degree after degree after degree. So I said, well, listen, I can look anywhere. So I looked, and I found a college that will do that. They're called SNHU, Southern New Hampshire University, and they're in New Hampshire. So I talked to my counselor at Department of Rehabilitation. They said, oh, you found a school? Yeah. Where's it at? It's in New Hampshire. New Hampshire, not California. No, New Hampshire. But it's the only school that offers all this stuff in one course. And instead of taking me 8 to 12 years, I can get it done in, 2 years or a little more or a little less, depending on how fast I, do the courses. And then she goes, well, okay, we could try. And I go, what do you mean we could try? She goes, we could try, but we prefer that you get a school in California. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me that when I was looking for a school. So now it's possible to get that course in New Hampshire, but you gotta try to find a school here. So I'm calling all the little colleges that public schools, a better chance, private schools, but we could do it, but public schools. So I called all the public schools, and they don't got it. So then I had to reach out to some of the private schools that do work with DOR, but it's still a private school, and it's a university, but it's a private university, and I don't know if it's going to work out. And then I said, well, you know what? Instead of school, why don't we try and do the business thing? I want to start a business. Okay. Is it in the same field of stuff that you want to study? Yeah. So I want to do both at the same time. I want to go to school and I want to start a business. Oh, no, we can do the school. And then once you go to school, you have to work for 3 months for a company. And then if you still qualify, we can try for the business, or we can just try for the business. And then, if you're doing okay, we can go to school after. And I'm like, well, I saw online you can do it both at the same time. Well, you can, but it's really, really difficult. And I'm like, hoops and hurdles and oh my God. So, has this ever happened to you guys? If you've been disabled or trying to move ahead and you just got all these walls being put up in front of you, all these hurdles being put up in front of you, all these hoops being put up in front of you that you got to jump through, jump over, or get past and knock down. Man. But I'll keep you guys informed about what's going on, and yeah, but has this ever happened to you? Leave a comment below. Would love to hear your story. And yeah, peace and Godspeed, everybody. I love you guys. Have an amazing week. I hope you have an amazing week after 4th of July holiday weekend week. And if you've had any of this stuff happen, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. I'll see you again soon in the next video and in the comments. And yeah, I love you guys and thank you for all the support. And we'll see you again soon. Peace. I love you. Bye-bye. Hoops, hurdles, and walls.